Have you ever wondered if a vastly overweight athlete could play quarterback? Well, in my new Road to Glory series featuring 400-pound quarterback Brian Flakes, we see if he can dominate high school football and even acquire interest from some of the top programs in the country. College Football 26, we have finally made it, and the presentation looks even better this year. And today we begin the journey of Brian Flakes. If you've been around on the channel for a minute, you would know about his story, but we're going to start off as a 3-star. I think that's a good balance between not being too good to start in high school, but also not having an impossible journey for our very oversized quarterback. Brian Flakes, he does play the quarterback position, oddly enough, and I do think we want to have him be a backfield creator. This seems to be the more popular archetype for the quarterback position, but it seems really fun to use. You do get some good abilities to play off script, but you're still money from the pocket. And here is our first look at Brian Flakes rocking the aqua uniforms, just an unreal color scheme, but he's 400 pounds, he's 6'4", by far the biggest quarterback in college football. So our hometown is the state of Texas and Arlington, and we're going to be the East Side Cyclones, and now we're ready to begin the journey of our 400-pound backfield creator. And now here's a look at some of the abilities that we're going to get, I think, right away, and then also some of the caps that we have for power, IQ, elusiveness, and quickness. And we're starting off as the 853rd best player in the country, the 42nd quarterback. We definitely have some work to do. So Alice Zimmer is our local TV reporter. I think the biggest thing we want to do is just play early, because Brian Flakes, he takes up 2 spots on the bench, and also staying home. He loves some of the local food chains in Texas. He's going to want to stay in the state as well. So now it is time to add our top 10 schools. I think Texas is definitely going to be one of our top options. I know they have Arch Manning right now, but if we can do really good in high school, I might consider going there. Texas A&M, the second best team in the state of Texas, gonna also include them. In my original series, I had UTSA as the school that Flakes ended up going to, so why don't we maybe continue the legacy there and add them to the list? I think other schools like Texas Tech could be pretty cool, maybe even SMU, kind of just the top-ranked schools in Texas. We'll see if we do have a chance to maybe play for one of these right away. How about their rival, Oklahoma? We're gonna add them to the list just in case we want to get some revenge. But it is important to note that we only are a 3-star recruits, so some smaller schools like Oregon State could make sense. Obviously, to start off, we're going to have 3 of the top schools in Texas be our top 3 schools, and we'll see how much progress we can get in getting a scholarship offer to one of these programs. And Steve Sarkisian, we are technically on his radar. He's sending us a text before the start of the season. Thank you very much, sir. So now we got to pick 4 moments out of these 5. I think the 4 that really give us a big boost to Texas and some of those bigger schools are the ones that I really want to look into. I've already seen some clips of this walkout, and it's pretty sick. Here's Flakes rocking the number 1. He may be the drippiest quarterback in high school football currently. So the first drive goals is gain yards by completing passes between the hashes and avoid pass breakups from my rival. So here we go. I think this mesh concept is a great way to start us off, and we get one here. I don't think that was between the hashes though. I took way too long to get that pass off, so we're not going to get any points there. We have our tight end here though in the middle of the field. He's going to hold on to this one, and that's a good start. We just got to make sure that safety in the back end of their defense does not break up any of these passes. I want our tight end again here. Going to throw it to him. He dropped it. Are you kidding? Luckily our coach is going to let us go for it here, but this is big. We have to get this completion. We can't sell our very first drive. Tight end across the middle of the field again. We got it, and that's a huge first drive. Now I got to make sure to keep a balance. I haven't played any football game in a few months, so I'm a little bit rusty, but we just got to make sure also that we don't target our rival, because we can't risk a pass breakup. 3rd and 6 now. We're going to run a little play action, and our offensive line just did not block. But technically, we didn't have to score a touchdown there, so that was a completed moment. We now have a 2-minute drill before halftime. We got to get in field goal range and then also score a touchdown. Our running back with a great first carry. He's basically got us there. That is the balance that I'm talking about. We have over a minute still to go in this half. Just got to take care of the football. Another beautiful throw out to our tight end for another first down. The command that Brian Flakes has for this offense right now is bar none. We're going to throw it up to a receiver, and Flakes missed him. That was a walk-in touchdown. As soon as I compliment him, he sells on a wide open completion. But again, to our tight end, our offensive line can't block. I might have to cut out some of that play action stuff, at least early on, because our offensive line just cannot hold up. But we have a running back here across the middle of the field. It's batted up in the air, and we're going to fail this moment. The similar thing here, we just can't allow a breakup from our rival, but we got to gain some passing yards on the run. So how about this one right here to our tight end? That should be a fairly easy 10 yards, and we were on the move. They did not give me any passing yards for that. That is kind of a scam because we were on the move there. And now I'm just gonna run. Do we get those at least? All right, we got 5. Need to make sure we stay ahead of the sticks. We're gonna get out here and, oh, we have our wide receiver down the field. And he held on to it against our rival, and he's gonna take it all the way to the end zone. Oh my goodness. That was risky, but what a huge play from Fasano, I believe. Now we have to pass on the run for a first down. So another similar thing here. I think we're on the move there. It's another dime. Brian Flakes is him. But we do need to go down this field and score a touchdown if we want to win or force overtime. We're going to find a receiver here for another first down. We're honestly just picking apart this defense right now. And again, our running back underneath is incomplete. Our offensive line is really struggling to hold up. And again, our receiver, he's going to hold on to it. Another dime inside the 5. We've got plenty of time. The box is fairly light. I think our running back has a chance here. If he cuts it upside, he does. We're going to tie this game up. I guess that's all we can do. So now we're going to exit our first week with a lot of really good progress. We already got a scholarship from New Mexico State. They were not one of the schools that we added to our top 10. The Rice Owls, a team that is based in Arlington, is going to offer us one. Same thing with the Tulsa Hurricanes. UTSA, they were on our list, gave us a scholarship. We're already up to the number 22 quarterback in the nation. And it looks like this week we're playing a team that has a great pass rush, which is not good for our offensive line because it really struggled this past week. We have Oregon State now. Trent Bray messaging us. He wants to give us a challenge this week to maybe lock up a scholarship with them. But I do think I want to remove Coastal Carolina. I have another Texas school that I kind of forgot about during this process early on, and that is the Texas State Bobcats. I'm surprised they're actually a 2-star program. I think they're one of the newer teams into this game. We're going to also add them as our 10th team now. This week we're playing Garland, and the first thing we have to do is avoid sacks and pass on the run for a first down or touchdown. So we know about this defensive line. It's very scary, and this first pass is picked off. I honestly thought we had more retry moments, but we only get one. I'm not going to use this in week 3. So for this moment, we need to set the pass protection and basically just throw for a first down. So I think we can just go here, maybe just max protect. I think that should be good. We are cold, and now only have 2 wide receiver options, so probably not a great idea, but we're just going to fire it here. This is out route, and we got no accuracy. We'll just full slide to the left, again, setting the protection, and hopefully find one of our tight ends here for the first down. We've got our tight end. Just don't drop it. He holds on, and that should be completion for the moment, and it is. But with throwing that interception, I do want to get a touchdown to kind of combat that turnover to just make sure we still get a lot of points. I wonder if Rourke here and get some one-on-one coverage and we lob one up to him. It doesn't look like it, so we're going to dump it down to our running back on the little Texas route. Another huge first down. But we've got a little play action here. Only 22 seconds until halftime. Flakes is going to get outside the pocket, and we're just going to fire to the end zone. Hold on to it, and it's caught. This moment is honestly pretty easy. We just have to complete a shotgun pass for 30 yards. And we've got one-on-one coverage, I believe, on both sides of the field. I'm going to lob one up to Rourke. Can he go get this football? Rourke, he can't. You do see the arm talent of Flakes right there, effortlessly just swinging that ball way down the field. But now we do have to complete this moment and across the middle of the field, lob it up. It's going to be held on to. What a grab. They didn't give us shotgun pass first down for that. I'm not sure why, but we're going to try it here. Just find our tight end underneath again. Are you kidding? I tried to quick fire it, and Brian Flakes just threw another pick. That is terrible. And now we got to go all the way down the field again and get a rushing touchdown for Oregon State. And I'm honestly just upset that we have 2 of those turnovers and I take another huge sack here. I am collapsing. This is the second time we've been cold in this ball game. Flakes again just going to get outside of the pocket and we're going to run. I love the little loaf of bread running movement there. We pick up a good amount of yards. But now this is a big third down. We have to pick this up to extend this drive and make sure we still can get some points for this game. I'm not going to trust that receiver here. I'm just going to try and run for it. And Flakes. Now I do want to take a shot down the field. I just don't want to have another turnover. We also do have to run to get in the end zone. So we got to be careful about this, but I'm going to lob one up down the field. It's picked off again. What am I doing? We do get an offer from Arkansas State, and it's looking like right now, after that performance, these are going to be some of the schools that we're going to have to start at because what an embarrassing performance for Brian Flakes. We are now down to a 2-star and the 134th quarterback in the nation. SMU, still somewhat interested after our dreadful performance, but I have to show up this week. Our friend Alex here wants us to go to homecoming, but after how we played last week, we got to work with the trainer. It's too important. We've got the Woodlands this week, and the first thing we need to do is pass lead for a completion and a touchdown. I believe I know how to do this, so we're going to try it here to our tight end. pass lead in front. That should be completion for 10 plus yards. We got it. We have to take care of the football now. It's as simple as that. I was way too overconfident the last couple of weeks. And again, we're just going to keep running this mesh concept. Got our tight end again for another first down. Hope is all not lost. I still think we can become a 4-star and get recruited to Texas and some of those big programs. We just have to make sure that we're a lot better these last few weeks. So again, going to try and just run here. And Brian Flakes rumbling and tumbling for a first down. 2nd and 10, approaching the red zone. Just going to fire to our running back underneath again. He's going to hold on to it. 3rd and 1. In most situations, you would just run the football here, but it's too important. This moment, we cannot trust the CP running back. We got our tight end underneath, pass lead, and he is gonna, of course, actually he got into the end zone. And now the next moment is get a first down with a quarterback scramble. We've got to juke or truck a defender. So we have to take care of the football. No more turnovers. But Brian Flakes juke. Did it count? I don't think so. So we're gonna try that again here. Brian Flakes, we got him with the play fake, and we're gonna get sacked. Another really big 3rd down. And again, nobody open at all. Flakes is trying to get rid of the football. We can't do it. We've got another rushing one here. We got to scramble for a first down and then pass on the run for a first down or touchdown, it looks like. So here we go, Brian Flakes. Just roll out. Again, find a receiver. It was almost picked off. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to navigate the pocket. Again, the offensive line barely blocks. We're going to get it to our receiver, and he drops it. Because, of course, just like that, we're on our last moment for the week. We have to capitalize on this one. Cross the middle of the field, hold out, and he dropped it again. He dropped it again. I went into this thinking this was going to be fairly easy in high school, but it has not been that so far at all. We're going to find our tight end again. He holds on, thank goodness. But we've got to find the end zone now. This is to keep us, I believe, as like a mid 3-star. I think if we can get this moment, that would be huge. And we've got a receiver across the middle of the field. He holds on, and that's huge. The Air Force is going to offer us a scholarship. Missouri will as well. Toledo, we've got the offer from Texas State in our back pocket, but we're still not even a 3-star. After last week, after missing those 2 moments, I thought we were going to be a little bit higher than this, honestly. And we've got Kirkpatrick, aka Coach Prime, basically saying, the Buffaloes don't really need a quarterback. We're probably not going to get a scholarship. But if we're going to reach 4-star status, we have to be perfect the next 2 weeks. There's no doubt about it. And the first play we have to do is a trick play for 5+ yards. I think this touch pass should count as one if our receiver just ran the right way. We had that easily. Not really sure what else would count as a trick play here. So we really need a receiver to pick up 5 yards. And he had, again, very easy 5 yards, but we're going to get a lot more than that. We'll take it. The strategy is get inside the red zone and do that play again until we can score. Fasano 101, and we're probably going to score a touchdown here, which I didn't really want to do. Probably wasn't smart to do that. Actually, trick play touchdowns? Why does that count as a trick play? I don't know, but we're going to take it. And now we need a lob pass touchdown. This is the special thing that Baylor wanted. So maybe we're going to try and air it out here and see if our receiver can go get it and catch this lob. He does, but we're not going to be close to the end zone. But now inside the red zone, this is where it gets a little bit tough to do a lob throw because you don't want the defense to have time to react. But we got Rourke beating him. That should be good. He holds on to it. And are we not calling that a lob? I thought that was a lob pass, but I guess it wasn't. But I'm not going to restart it because we still got 50 for that. Our final moment for this game is passing yards while throwing on the run and yards outside of the pocket. So we've done this before. We haven't been very good at it. But here we go. We have a receiver now. Please. It was such a bad throw. That was literally going to get us both of those more likely than not. Just a super inaccurate ball from our hefty quarterback. But again, I don't really know how to playmaker anymore. I forgot in this game how to do it, but we're going to pick up 12 yards there. That's honestly something I probably should have figured out before hopping into some of these Road to Glory games. But yeah, I don't really know how to playmaker. That's been a huge disadvantage when we get outside the pocket. But again, going to fire to our receiver, come back for it. He's going to hold on. That should be both. And we got it. Now if we go get a touchdown, this is going to be by far our best game of high school so far. We're going to throw it to a receiver here. An absolute dime. What a throw from Brian Flakes. And I was wrong. We actually have one more moment. We just got to get in field goal range and then score the game-winning touchdown. They're going to bring a blitz here. Flakes going to get outside the pocket, throw a nice one on the run for a nice first down. Didn't even realize that was 3rd down, so a huge conversion. We've got Fasano who's on fire. With the 1-on-1 coverage, I'm probably not going to risk it, and I'm just going to throw it away. No need to risk it. So 2nd and 10 now, we again have a little bit of play action, and we're instantly under pressure. Our offensive line is so pitiful. It's partially on me too, because I don't know why I'm going play action on a lot of these plays when we just simply can't hold up. We're going to fire here, and it's incomplete. Honestly, don't have much we can do here. We just got to throw up a prayer and hope it's caught. I think maybe Fasano has one-on-one coverage, and I'm going to loft one up. Fasano, please make a good catch. And Fasano drops it. Baylor is going to offer us a scholarship, which is cool. Same thing with Colorado, actually. But again, we're not moving up past a 2-star, which is really unfortunate. I've got to have a very impressive final game to get as close to being a 4-star. And Steve Sarkisian basically says, we're not going to give you a scholarship. You haven't played good enough. And looking at our top choices, it's now looking like Texas A&M, Texas Tech, or even the Longhorns are going to offer us a scholarship. And also right now, it doesn't even look like Texas State. We would be the starting quarterback from week 1, which is really disappointing. But we have already reached senior night. There is big Brian Flakes with a pile of roses trying to raise up some of the cheerleaders here on the sidelines. It does unfortunately seem like right out of high school, the SEC schools are too far out of reach. But now we're playing for one of the starting spots at one of the smaller schools, and we're going to try it here. Lofting one deep down the field to our receiver, and another drop. We kind of need like a 50-yard touchdown if we're going to complete this, and so far, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just juking it, and now we're going to go out of bounds. We've got to get like a one-play score here. I just need Fasano or Rourke to get one-on-one coverage, and we're going to fire it. Again, Rourke has it. Can he catch this and break a tackle? He's going to hold on to it, but he can't get in the end zone. So I guess I could just go back and take a 30-yard sack, and then we theoretically could throw a touchdown. So we're going to go out right here, and now we got to score a touchdown. Cheesing the system a little bit, but we need to do this because we need to get all the points we can. We're at exactly the 35-yard line. Can somebody win one-on-one coverage? We've got Rourke again in the end zone. I thought he had it again. So we have one play to try and get this in the end zone, and I don't really know who to target. I guess we're just going to lob it up here to a receiver, and we don't even get the pass off. You got to be kidding me. The next moment, we got to get in field goal range and score a touchdown. We've done this one before, probably one of the easier ones. We got a little play action here again, and our offensive line barely held up, and I think we're just going to try and take a shot. Why not? Flakes on the move. Oh, we almost got it there. Another key 3rd and 4. We probably go for it, I think, if we don't get this, but we're just going to try and not worry about that, and we don't. I think that one is too important, so we're going to try and retry it here. I mean, this is one of the easiest ones. We've got to be able to do it. Some more play action here, and I don't even know what our offensive line is doing. We might even drop below a 2-star with how we're playing. Again, firing in the middle of the field. We finally got one off. It is caught, and I think Fasano, and he's going to take it all the way to the end zone. That is a huge play for us. Huge. So I just audibled, and now we got to pick up a 1st down and gain some yards here. It's 3rd and 10 already. And I just have to throw this one right here, and I don't even get it off. Our offensive line is just destroying me. And now all of a sudden, we are down to our final moment. It's 3rd and 7. This is to become a hometown hero and likely a 3-star recruit. If not, we're going to be a 2-star. This first pass wasn't even intended to him, but we got the 1st down. Again, some crazy motion, and our offensive line holds up a little bit, but we're still under some pressure, going to pick up 5 yards and go out of bounds. But a big 3rd and 5 here. We're approaching the red zone. I think we do have 2 downs to get this. Across the middle of the field, another drop. I mean, this is unbelievable. We can't catch a break with our receivers just dropping the football. Gonna fire it across the middle here. Standing in the pocket. Huge play. We're down to like the 2. Hopefully this doesn't mean that I have to score the touchdown because we're going to try and run it here 1st and goal. Our running back, he's got it, and that does count. Brian Flakes plus 590 in his final game. Technically, it does say we're like a mid 3-star, so we'll see if that is true. Oklahoma State does give us a scholarship. Same thing with San Diego State. Texas Tech is also going to give us a scholarship, but we are not up to a 3-star. We fell below our starting benchmark. That is pretty embarrassing. We got a scholarship from every school except for the good ones, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Texas. So that is a little bit disappointing. I thought maybe we'd had a chance to be like a backup for one of these teams if we did well enough, but clearly that did not happen. So I think the final 3 schools for us are going to be Texas State, SMU, and UTSA. But now it is time for our selection between our top 3 schools. I really wanted one of the SEC programs and start off on top, but clearly that was not in the cards for Brian Flakes and his 400-pound self. But Texas State, SMU, and UTSA, SMU Mustangs, the only Power 4 school a part of our selection. But where is Flakes going to decide to go? Could it be the Roadrunners and continue his legacy there? I don't know. I don't think that is in the cards for Flakes. I think he wants a new challenge and a new school to go to. Now, SMU would be really cool, but being quarterback 3 there, I just don't think that either is where he wants to begin his career. So the Mustangs, they're officially going to be out. That leaves us with one obvious choice, and it is going to be The Texas State Bobcats is where Brian Flakes, the 400-pound quarterback, will begin his college career. I obviously wish we could have played better and gotten Flakes to a better school to start off, or maybe even the guaranteed starter. But all that means is our journey to be in the top of college football is just going to be crazier. And our offensive coordinator here, Landon, already kind of talking to us about how we can rise on the depth chart. But we're starting off as a 66 overall. I thought we were quarterback too. That's what the recruiting promise was to us. But we're not. We're number 3 on the depth chart currently, behind a redshirt freshman and a junior redshirt. Luckily, their overall isn't much higher than ours. We do have 57 skill points to use, which will be really helpful. But we have our work cut out for us. In the next episode, we will be playing the freshman year of Brian Flakes. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and drop a like in the video so you don't miss future episodes of the journey of our 400-pound quarterback.